What's up, traders? Welcome to live streaming from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. This is Forex Wizard Trading Coach. We'll be doing a live trading session, live analysis, live discussion about trading psychology, live trading, fundamental and technical aspect of trading. So this is NFP week. As you know that we see the market is getting volatile every day. So we'll be looking at one by one, as you have seen in most of our live sessions. We do have some real good trades. So let's looking at first of all gold, and then we will jump onto other instrument as well. Now before I begin, give a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So let's begin with first of all gold. Now we see that gold is like a turtle, little bit not moving much, that we discussed yesterday. Where we left it, the price is almost there. This is where we left yesterday gold price in our New York session live. I think here we left it, it's almost there. So let's see what kind of opportunity we have now. For those who watched the New York session live, you remember there was a trade here and it came in that direction. We exit the trade early because of that movement happened to the upside. So let's see now where we can find the next opportunity on gold. I will be looking at first of all daily time frame to see how the market opened today. Now you can see yesterday there's a daily candle that has a half body, half long wick at the top. Now highly likely that gold might go ahead and fill that long wick today. Now this is what I mentioned guys earlier, that gold might be slowly moving up and may turn to a bearish market. Now looking at daily, if you look at this long doji on the daily time frame, this is a long doji followed by another daily candle. Now what we see, the market is forming series of lower high below this 20 EMA. This daily 20 EMA is very important. It's a very high area of value. Now today so far the market opened with a little bit of gap, and the long wick candle is formed at the bottom. I think that we could see initial movement to the upside. Now highly likely we could see a retest of this daily high, and it might maintain the lower high with this daily resistance. That is what I was mentioning for a long time, that the price might be going up to test this daily 20 EMA, and from that zone we could see that gold is turning to a bearish market. Now with this long wick candle, what we see that on gold, this is the movement to the upside, and with this movement we can see that gold now almost nearly the 20 EMA, and from that zone we can expect gold to break to the downside. Now as you can see, this is where the most important part is, to find the turning point for this movement. So we have drawn the resistance line. Quickly looking at the bigger picture monthly. Now from the monthly, I'm bearish on gold because there was a big monthly bearish candle followed by a monthly middleman. For me it's a continuation pattern. So far once the market opened, we have seen initial pullback to the upside in the first couple of days of the month. I think we will see again another movement towards the downside. Now from the weekly, we see that there was a weekly doji. Now this week initially has come down to the support, now has come went to the resistance zone, and I think that any kind of break the weekly high will give us again selling opportunity on gold. Now going to the 4 hour, where we see that the market, this is the 4 hour time frame, and this is an important level of resistance. Okay, so with that respect, what we see that on gold is for the price to go ahead and test this level. Okay, this is a resistance here, and we see that with this resistance line the price Okay, this is where we can see the potential resistance line, and I think that gold might be going up to resistance, and from that zone we can expect for the gold to have a drop. Now this is very highly likely that we could see slowly it's coming down as the price forming series of lower high in that resistance line. So we'll be waiting for potential entry on gold. As soon as we will find that, we'll be looking for an entry. This is the 1 hour chart, guys. As you can see, you see there is a little bit of imbalance in that area. Now with that imbalance, what we can expect on gold to go ahead to fill some part of this and then to give us an entry for selling. Now from 15 minutes time frame, we see a little bit of choppiness. Let me see on the 5 minutes as well. Okay, so you can see as NFP coming, we can see the market is in fact preparing for a bit more bigger move. So in this local time frame also, we see that this market is maintaining this resistance line. Okay, now any kind of break to the upside will give us entry opportunity for potential selling. The way the market is, I will more likely be interested to sell, but let's see, once the market will evolve, will give us an entry opportunity, we'll look for entry. Okay guys, let me know in the live chat how you are doing, and we'll be discussing more on that. Thanks for being here, Antoine. Good morning from UK. What about gold? Thank you. Hey sir. Gold and dollar yen, thank you very much. Gold on 15 minutes please. Yeah, absolutely, we'll be looking at that. Morning, CAD JPY. Yep, we'll be looking at that. Good morning coach, thank you. How is that? Missed your weekly analysis today. Thanks. GBP USD is flying now. Yeah, GBP USD, we saw that yesterday there was a bullish move, and today also we might see that. Let me see how it goes. Good morning, thank you very much. Thanks for your good job, thank you very much. Please you kindly adjust your mic because of barely hear you sir. I think you can, mic is okay guys. Let me know if you can't hear me properly. Is there anything that I need to adjust? I was expecting that mic is okay. Let me know guys, is mic is okay? Audio is low for me. Let me see, did I change anything? I think didn't change anything. Okay, very good, thank you. Awesome, thank you very much. Thanks for that. Okay, so with that said guys, let's quickly review the news calendar, and then we'll know, because we need to create a connection with the news calendar and with how the price is moving in the market. Okay, so yes, so tonight very important news coming up. FOMC meeting minutes, and then tomorrow ADP non-farm employment change, and then after tomorrow non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, all of them. So basically dollar CAD and all the dollar pairs getting very, very volatile because of NFP. Now NFP, for those who are new in trading, how many of you are not sure about NFP? Let me know, we'll discuss more. NFP is a very, very important market mover for trader. We really care about it. So and we do live trade on NFP. For those who are with us for more than a month, you know that. Okay, NFP is very, very important trading day for us. So let me know guys if you have any question on it. So Let me look at that. Thank you very much for confirming. You're on. Hi master, please GBP JPY. Yeah, absolutely. The volume is very okay. So, oh, thank you. Thanks for that. Okay. So we see that gold, we discussed gold is a little bit still in a sideway. Now 4 hour, I can see that potential movement on gold on 4 hour. If we look at, okay. So what we see here on gold, if we look at the daily, you can see the market is moving in this way, and we could see what I think that you see the market is forming series of lower high in this direction, and we could see the, a drop to the downside, and with the drop I think that gold may continue to drop to this 20 EMA or even breaking the low. So looking at the 1 hour chart on gold, and if you look at this 1 hour, you can see that gold is maintaining this series of lower high in this direction, and I think that with this series of lower high we could see gold is moving towards the downside, and any kind of liquidity grab from the resistance. So you see that this is the resistance line on gold, and with this resistance, any kind of liquidity grabbing from the top will give us an opportunity to sell. Now if you are not sure about the liquidity grab, let me know in the live chat. I can explain more on how the liquidity grab works. Now liquidity is the fuel of the market, is one of the most important criteria that I use in my trading. GBP JPY, yeah, absolutely, we'll be looking at that. Thank you. So let's go back to other instrument, and then we'll come back gold again to see how it is doing. Looking at GBP JPY. Okay, now GJ, from bigger picture, it is also a bull market. All right, so this is a bullish market. If we look at the weekly here on GBP JPY, you know what, I think that GJ might have another blow to the upside. The reason I think that way is, if you look at this pattern here, this is the weekly chart. Now looking at weekly, sometime will give you a bit more clear idea. Now as you can see on the weekly, they're back to back 2 weekly move followed by 2 narrow weekly candles. Okay. And with these 2 narrow weekly candle, there is a big weekly bullish candle, and then you can see that another 2 narrow weekly candles. Now you can see this pattern. You see after back to back 2 weekly bullish candle, a narrower 2 weekly candle, and then has created this big move. Now back to back 2 weekly narrow candle, given a momentum, I think that we might see another long candle on the weekly. So this is the week of NFP, and that one also getting very volatile. Now we look at the daily on we look at the daily 4 hour. Okay, so from the 4-hour perspective, what we see that the market, you can see it's a little bit of consolidation here. If you look at, I just trying to figure out how the market structure is evolving here. Now, pardon me guys, I had so GBP JPY, if you look at this market, this is a tremendously bullish market. Now you see that very long-term bull market, the stronger the trend, the longer the trend is, the stronger. Okay, so I think that GBP JPY might grab liquidity from this 20 MA. You can see this dynamic resistance is being respected. Okay, this 20 MA is being respected. Whenever the price coming near to it is getting rejected, and what I think that any kind of drawback to the 20 MA, especially touching the 20 MA, will give us a very good opportunity to go long on GBP JPY. Now if I draw this level here and going to the here on the 1 hour chart or lower time frame, we can see how the market is evolving. This is the trend line, and I'll really be interested to go long on GJ if it drops back to this support zone here, and then we'll go long on GBP JPY, and I think which is very likely to happen. You can see it's forming long wick candle here. We might see locally drop, especially coming to the support level, or violating any of this level. Actually this trend line will give a very high probability for GBP JPY to come back down to give us an entry opportunity, okay, for this move to the upside on GBP JPY. And this is what I will be waiting for an entry on GBP JPY. So as soon as you will see the market has dropped, we'll be looking to buy GJ. So yeah, so this is a very nice looking market. GJ is a clean bullish market. So let's see any kind of opportunity along the way. I will be trading, and also I'll be sending the same trade to VIPs who are trading with us. If you want to join us in our mentorship program in Forex Trading Wizard Academy, also you can join us. There is a link in the description and also link at the top of the chat. Click the link, visit the website, and then click join now button. You will be able to join us. Any question, let us know. There is a live agent available to help you. Any question that you have to ask her, Aiza is there always. Any question you can ask. I'll say that it's the best decision you'll ever made if you want to speed up your learning and growing as a trader. And this is NFP week. There is a lot of trade coming along. There's a lot you can learn from this opportunity. So GJ, we found a way where we can look for an entry on GBP JPY. So hello Mentor, watching from Botswana, thank you very much for being here. GBP USD, Trade Master Gold, thank you very much for scalper, what's your opinion? Yaron, so what do you mean by for a scalper? What's your opinion? What was your first question? Master, please. Okay, so GBP JPY, for all kind of trading, I'll wait for a bit more drop, okay, to this. So at least to come to this around 34-40 pip down, then we'll look for buying opportunity on GBP JPY. Coach, tell us more stories about trading favor. Yeah, absolutely, very good question. More learning about trading psychology is very important. Raise your voice and volume. I don't know, I think that volume is looking good. Let me see if there is any change here. I think volume is, I guess it's okay. I didn't change anything. But do you guys hear me as regular, or you see a bit low so that I can readjust it? Volume. I think that all settings is correct. Is as usual. Okay, so we got that GBP JPY. Now let me see. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your appreciation. GBP JPY and dollar yen moving the same. Why? Okay, GBP JPY. Very good question. GBP, is it because of the weakness on JPY? Yeah, you are 100% correct. It's because of the weakness in JPY. In fact, JPY is a weaker currency, and in most of the time you see that happens because GBP JPY, dollar yen, because they are yen pair, and when yen gets weaker, even without changing the strength in dollar and GBP, you see they move in the same direction. Okay, so thank you very much. Hello coach, I'm very much inspired and learning a lot from last 1 month. Thank you very much. I have a query in related to take and trade. Most of the time I'm exiting early, sometime cost to cost for similar smaller pullback. Dr. Naisa, very good question, and this is a very common. Okay, exiting early, it's about the trading psychology. Okay, I'll tell you in detail why this happened, and it's, I think it's not only you, everyone in the beginning especially it happens. Okay, so the silence sometimes happens is because sometimes a little bit of quiet because of um you know yeah, I understand. Thank you very much. Thank you, master. Thank you very much. Good morning, coach. Okay, volume is good. Thank you very much. GBP AUD. Okay, so thank you very much. Awesome. Okay, so let's go to the question, Dr. Nice. That exiting the trade a bit earlier. So how many of you have the uh, same thing that experiencing? See, this is not only Dr. Nice, everyone, even me, when I begin, I'll tell you exact reason, and then you guys can see how, where is the solution. First, let me tell you, so what happened is that in majority of the time you see in your trading account that you have a lot of winning trade. Okay, and then you'll see one losing trade, that big one will take all the win that you had, including, you see that like maybe one, including all the profit gone, and maybe some loss also has occurred. So this is why, when you look at trading, see, first of all, why does this happen? Let me give you a clear explanation with example so that you know next time how you can overcome this difficulty. Now, if you look at, let's say you open a trade, all right, and you hope that this trade will work out, will go to the profit. Let's assume that you risk $100 on the trade and you are expecting to give you, let's say, $200 profit on the trade, right? This is what is your expectation on the trade. Now, what happened is that the market never moves in one direction. So the market will go up, come down, will go up, come down. They move in a wavy fashion. Now let's say you risk $100, your trade went to $50 profit and then has come back to zero, and then again went to $60 profit, okay, and then has come back to zero or maybe minus $20, has come back and again has gone up to $150 profit, okay. You didn't close, you are waiting for a full profit hitting. Now from $150 you could see that it has come back down and took you at minus $100 because your stop loss at minus 100. Now how do you feel? Everyone might say, okay, the trade was gone to $150 profit, right? I didn't close it. Now ultimately it took me out of the trade with minus $100. You lost another $100. You might say, okay, the next trade that you open, same way you risk $100. Now the next one has gone up to $60, has come back down again $0, and now you start to feel the same way because previous one, same pattern is repeating. Now once it gone to $70, okay, now you closed it. You said that, okay, I lost the first one, even $150. I didn't close it. Now this is doing the same thing, but I closed the $70. So what happened is that in the first trade you took $100 loss. The second trade you took $70 profit. So in two trade, ultimately you are minus $30. You see, this is what happened. And the next trade and the next trade, and you see that you will win more trade. Maybe the next one you took $10 profit, next one you took maybe $15 profit, and the next one you took $200 loss. So you win more trade, but ultimately your account in drawdown. This is the truth. This is the reality have happened. Now I'm sure that every one of you are experiencing same kind of trading pattern. Now then how do you overcome that? See, the first thing if you want to overcome is you need to have a faith that ultimately how many trade is going to the stop loss, you will be profitable. How can you gain that faith? How can you gain that faith? This is the question. The only way you can gain that faith is by looking at a strategy that gives you profit over time. Let me also explain it. It's very, very important, guys. This is where you will understand how trading works. Let's say you have a strategy that is very optimal, working at 3:1, okay, 3:1 reward to risk, right? That means that if you use that strategy, whenever trade goes give you 3 times profit, you will take 3 times profit. Let's say $300 profit, $100 risk. This is the strategy, okay, with certain rules in it, and you back test it, okay, or you saw the back tested result. So how did you saw? For example, you took 50 trade, or you saw that back tested 50 trade or 100 trade, and you saw that after 100 trades you got 30 trades profitable. So in 100 trade, even 30 trades profitable with full 3:1, then you get basically 30 trades is big number. 30 into, let's say, each trade you risk 1%, so 30 trade, 3% each trade, it's 90%, right? Or let's say $100, $3,000, okay, or $9,000. 30 trade, each trade give you $300, $9,000, isn't it? So 30 trades, each trade 300, yeah, so $9,000. Now from this 30 trade you gain $9,000, and you had 70 trade losing. Each trade you lose $100, so that means you lose $7,000, and ultimately you got $2,000 profit, you see. So once you see the back tested result, then you know that the strategy works in that way. So if a trade is not going in full profit, you are not taking that profit, because you know that this is a back tested strategy, works that way. Now let's say you know everything, you know the strategy, you know that you need to hold the trade for full profit target, but you can't. This is what happens, is because of the trading psychology. This is where the emotion comes in place, and is because of the emotion of fear. These are the two major emotion that governs in trading, is emotion of fear and greed. These are the two very common emotion that happens when we trade. Now what kind of emotion of fear? For example, why did we close a trade early? Is because we fear losing what already have gone to the profit target. Okay, this is a very, very common. We all are human, we have that emotion. So how can you overcome? The only way you can overcome is by understanding the emotion that is playing out. Secondly is to give yourself some time, okay, learning proper risk management, and then knowing the fact that closing a trade early enough ultimately will not make you profitable over the long term. And I think that this is the main reason. And everyone's individually, we are different. Everyone's personality different, emotional state is different, risk, some of are very risk averse, so it takes time a little bit, okay. And the only thing, the short term quick solution that I will tell is that always trade in a smaller account, okay, because the bigger amount, the greater the emotion and the greater chance of making that mistake. For example, if you now, what is a smaller account size? Let's say your salary weekly is $700 as an example. So $100 account is a smaller account definitely for you. Now if you are trading in $100 or even a $500, I would say that it is a comparatively smaller account for this income weekly. Now when you are trading that smaller account, you risk 2% or 1%. And now if you lose $10 in a trade or $5 in a trade, will not affect you that much in comparison with your financial circumstances. But once you learn, you can use a bigger trading account definitely. I think that that's only the way you can minimize that, and then you can hold, because once you risk, let's say $10 and you target, say $30 on a single trade, if the trade is fluctuating will not have that much of response. If you use, let's say, a $20,000 trading account and then you risk, let's say, $500, and that will create an emotional trigger, and that's why it becomes sometimes hard for us to hold a trade for its full potential. So having a strategy and then using that strategy, sticking to the rules and plan, giving yourself some time, think, considering that everyone in the same boat, okay? Because we are human and we learn through experience and we learn through mistakes. So this is how only can be done. Now if you want to learn the strategy that is back tested, proven, working with me, with all the traders working here, you can also learn that. If you are our lifetime member, you will be able to access the strategy, and also all the trades that I am opening, also you will be able to access that. There's a link in the description and also link at the top of the chat. I would recommend you to join us to accelerate your learning. Environment is very important. They said that you will be always average of 5 people you associated with, so it is important that I think that you always follow where supportive environment. If you are a trader, being with the trader is very important, and sometimes it's very hard to find a trader around where we live. So that's why this academy is created, so that we can stay together, all the traders with a similar mindset. You can join, link in the description and also link at the top of the chat. Any question, let us know. Thank you very much. Good morning. Getting ready for some great tomorrow. Yeah, Gopi, yes, thank you very much. Gold trade was nice yesterday. Thank you very much, Jashik. Yes, it was nice, and it moved in that direction. Let's see if we have some more today. We see that again the market is in fact dropping from that level. Okay, so from 5 minutes. See that 4-hour candle close, the market coming down from this level, forming series of lower high. Yeah, so very highly likely that gold will come down here. We might see it is coming to the 4-hour 20 EMA. Here on 90% of the currency pairs has a positive negative correlation. Here, look, currency pairs has correlation but I don't see any issue with having a correlation. So correlation, I guess I get your answer properly. Correlation means, for example, CAD has a completely related to the oil. Gold is mostly related to Australian dollar. So this is what you mean. If you mean that, then I don't see any wrong with having a correlationship. For example, if CAD is related to oil, then the only thing that we need to keep in mind is that if I let's say if I buy CAD and sell oil, then I might trading against each other. So this is what I mean. I may know if I'm wrong. No problems. Thank you very much. Gold, sir. Actually, hello coach, please tell me if I'm using the engulfing 4-hour and 5 minutes strategy. Please tell me if I'm using the engulfing 4-hour and 5 minutes strategy. Do I wait for the 4-hour candle to close or to form engulfing within? Okay, I'm using the engulfing 4 hour. Okay, wait for a candle close. Yeah, always better to wait for a candle close, definitely. You know, see, without closed candle, majority of the time you might see that the candle didn't form. I got stuck many times in that way. For example, if I see that, as an example, this candle, current candle on gold, 4 hour candle, right? Now this is just a freshly opened candle and it's 3 hour 44 minutes remaining, and definitely you may not see that candle like that when it is closed. You might see that this candle will drop here, even breaking this low, and you might see even closing above here. Okay, so once it is closed, you will see a completely different picture. You might see something like that. Okay, candle like this, a long wick like that, with a body here, many shape it could have happened. So that's why it is always a good idea to wait for the candle close and then to see how, because when the candle close, we know that what happened. A candle represents a period of trading volume, what happened between this time period, or within this time period, what did the buyers and sellers did in the market. That's the represented by a candle. But if you consider a candle before it closed, visually in our mind we started to think that this is the candle, but it's an incomplete candle, so we cannot consider it at all. For example, if you uh, look at this candle, this 4 hour candle, and if you start to consider this one, mind will read it as a complete candle. Mind will not tell you that it's gonna be like that, because you see only this, but it's not a candle. In fact, it's not there. You try to understand what I'm telling. It's 3 hour 42 minutes remaining for this candle. We are considering that this is a candle, but it's not a candle. It's not there even, because once the candle will close, you may not see any existence of this current candle here. Might completely change. So that's why it will elude you if you consider a candle before it closed. But over experience, sometime we know, if I tell you something, for example, if you go to the dollar yen, go to the daily, let me show you something here. You see this one, I was trading here. We had a big trade in this live session on this one here. You see this, it has crossed this dodges low on the daily and then had a big move to the upside on dollar yen. Now once the market crossed this is the daily candle, and once the market has gone up, just after 6-7 hours passing of this daily candle, there is a very high probability that the market will go up. It's from experience, and that time I considered the trade, but before the close of the daily candle. This is why looking at multi-time frame will help us. So this is how it is. But if you trade based on candle close, that's on the 5 minutes time frame or 15 minutes, always to wait for, especially on the lower time frame. You see that I trade gold on 5 minutes, and I always wait for on the 5 minutes to candle close to give me the entry point. Okay, it's important. So gold, if you look at the daily, we can see that this is what we discussed yesterday. Before yesterday, if you remember, this is what I mentioned, that gold is likely to, this is the daily resistance line here on gold, and with this resistance, the price respecting this daily 20 EMA, creating series of lower high, we could see that gold coming down to create a new lower low. So this is what gold is moving in that direction. Look at, and we see that whenever the price is going to that resistance line, creating series of lower high and then coming down. Okay, so I will be waiting for an entry opportunity. As soon as I will find that. Okay, so after forming this head and shoulder, gold has dropped. You see that gold has expected from that level, has a created a lower high. I think there is a very high probability for downside now, to feel that there is an imbalance now. Market does this, always create an imbalance and then come to feel that imbalance. Okay, so I'll wait for an entry to the downside. We might see that as expected, gold gold's trying to melt down, right? So yeah, it's very high probability for the downside. We will be waiting for an entry opportunity. Okay, we see that movement. Okay guys, so let me know in the live chat how you are doing. Towards leverage. Okay, so leverage is a very fundamental question. Leverage is the scaling up your buying capacity. Okay, can have more on I'll create a separate video on that. US30 please. Yep. Does each different broker has its own leverage, or does it depend on our account size? Yeah, definitely every broker is of a different leverage. They are normally identical. Doesn't depend on your account size. It depends on what leverage you choose to use. Thank you. Gold is UDCAD. Yeah, UDCAD. Do you usually hold your trade, sir? It depends. Depends on what kind of trading you are doing. Now if I open a swing trade, sometime I take it a whole week until I find the profit. If I'm opening like a scalping trade in the live session, sometimes we just close in just in the session in an hour or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on what kind of trade you are opening. Do you go short and go right now? Not yet. Let me see if we find an entry. Modolian moving crazy with open EU market. yeah, we'll be looking at that. Thank you very much. About the weekly candle on gold, yeah, we'll be looking at that. Should we buy? Things think is going up. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. We'll be looking at that. Let me see that gold. You can see it's just trying to drop towards the downside now. In 25 minutes there is a good drop. Timing is also very important when we are trading. Timing is key, right? So you see that now. So in the meantime, we looked at GBP JPY. Let me see dollar yen. Okay, so dollar yen, guys, it's a long-term bull market. I will be looking at bigger picture. The way it formed, I think dollar yen prepared for another move. Looking at the monthly, this is a, you know, dollar yen. If you look at, it's a long-term bull market. You look at this one here with this massive move consolidation, another move consolidation. So dollar yen creating series of higher high and higher low, which is a long-term bullish market. Now with this long-term bull market on dollar yen, what we see that this couple of months we have seen this market is merging with this long-term uptrending market structure. This is the starting of this big move 2 months ago, a monthly middleman followed by another monthly bullish candle that has a healthy body and also weak at the top and bottom. Now this month, what I think that highly likely we could see that dollar yen is moving to the upside, and highly likely we could see a break of this resistance on dollar yen and even breaking this high to create a new higher high. So dollar yen is a long-term bullish market. If we look at the weekly, we can see that weekly price the previous week also there's a long wick at the top and bottom, which is a long-term continuation to a long-term uptrending market structure. Now if you look at dollar yen weekly price here, you can see this triangle is in fact a bullish price action, a movement with a triangle, another movement, and we can see that dollar yen in this area forming this bullish market structure. Now I think that we could see further continuation to the upside, or if it fails it might come down for a deeper pullback, but I think that we could see further continuation. Now from the 4-hour, what we see the dollar yen is, this is a, there is a long wick candle and then forming series of higher low. So what do you see that on dollar yen is, this is a bullish so it's building up a bullish structure and creating series of higher low. I think we might see a blow to the upside slowly. In any kind of pullback, we'll look for potential buying opportunity on dollar yen. So even on the 1-hour, we can look for like the GBP JPY. I think dollar yen will give us bullish opportunity. As the yen is getting weaker and weaker, we could see that dollar yen is moving to the upside. So yeah, so yen pair, you can see they are comparatively weaker yen, and that's scoring dollar yen to be bullish. Okay guys, so yeah, let's see, in any entry we'll be jumping on a trade. Let's see how it goes. As you can see, gold is dropping, means dollar getting stronger, and dollar yen, is a very volatile now. It's a long-term bull, and we'll look for entry on dollar yen as soon as we will find that. And in the meantime, guys, if you're looking for a regulated broker, our recommended broker is EverTrade. They are regulated. You can join EverTrade using our link. They are SIC and FCA regulated broker. So there is a link in the description, and also I'm giving a link in the live chat as well. Okay. So also I'm giving a link in the live chat. You can click the link and then register for free. Start trading with a regulated broker. You can start trade with even with $100 account, which is always advisable to trade in a smaller account, or any capital that you trade is their safe broker, very tight spread and no commission. You can use them. So link given, you can use that. For those who already registered, I will recommend you to start trading with them, because trading in a live account always is different from demo, but always trading in a smaller account is better than trading in a big account. So you can do that. Let me know any question that you have. Okay, so when to buy gold? All right, thank you very much. Also, you can join the free Telegram channel, guys. Make sure you give a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Every weekend, every day, there's a lot of content is being released in this channel that will help you to grow as a trader. So you can check that out. Make sure you give a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Thanks for dollar yen. Yeah, absolutely. So let me see, guys, on indices. We see that NASDAQ and US30, it's not moving much. Is because of the NFP, but I think that ultimately, if you look at NASDAQ, it's on the top, on the resistance. The price is not. The monthly, we can see that from the monthly on NASDAQ, this is the monthly resistance line, and we can see that from that resistance, NASDAQ is we might see deeper pullback on a resistance line. We look at the weekly, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is also weekly resistance, and we might see that the market coming down before moving to the upside. Now if we look at the daily, so this is the daily, what we discussed before. I think that NASDAQ, this is an inverted head and shoulder here. Break of this inverted head and shoulder, I think highly likely we could see that NASDAQ coming down to test this previous resistance here, turning support. And I will be trading in this narrow range, because if you look at this resistance line, it's a very powerful resistance, and I won't risk my capital above this level before it breaks. For me, it will be better to wait for a pullback, which is very likely to happen during the NFP or before that. Once the market coming down to this previous resistance, turning support along the zone on the lower time frame. If we go to the lower time frame, we can see that how the market coming down. I think we'll see that drop possible to this level, and it might even come to this baseline. Okay, and then from here we can look for potential bullish trading opportunity on NASDAQ along this area. So there is a possible downside. Okay, if we see very aggressive bearish, then we can look for selling. Otherwise, I'll wait for bullish, because it's a long-term bullish market. Trading with the trend is always advisable. Okay, always good idea to trade with the trend. So let's see gold, guys. We see that movement on gold. Okay, there is a 15 minutes candle that opened with a gap, 5 minutes candle on gold, and 3 hours 24 minutes remaining for this candle. Okay, if it moved to the upside, then I'll look for selling before touching the 4-hour 20 EMA. So if it moved to the upside before touching the 20 EMA, we might see that price might be coming down again. There is a head and shoulder here on the 5 minutes, you can see that, and then had this breakdown with this head and shoulder, giving a neckline here, very important level here. Okay, so for selling opportunity, if the price managed to break to the upside again, goes up, you can look for selling. On the 5 minutes there is a movement, you can look for a pullback. This is the level that can be sold. Once the price will reach there, will give us an entry opportunity. Right guys, so let's see, we'll keep observing all of them, and in the meantime give a big thumbs up guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. This weekend I will be also releasing very important valuable content on London session time on Saturday and Sunday. So I'll pause for 2 seconds so everyone have time to do that. Thank you very much. That's awesome for your support to the channel. That really also helps me to stay motivated to create more of that. Awesome. Okay, so quickly looking at all the pairs. We saw NASDAQ. I'll just review all of them quickly to see before I go back to that. Let me see, AUD USD is update, Euro USD, yeah. Patrick, yep, I do send swing as well as scalp, both of them whenever arising in the market. So both swing as well as scalp, send any trade that I open, I share with the VIPs. So if you are joining us, you'll be able to access all of them, including all the strategies that I am using, all the trading tools that I am using. You can join us to access all of them. Link in the description and also link at the top of the chat. Once you go to the website, you can click join now button, and then you will be able to access all of them. So this is basically Forex Trading Wizard Academy website. If you are in this website, you can find a link in the description. You can click join now button or click here to join, and then you will be able to join us to access everything. So let me see, Euro dollar and GBP USD and AUD USD, these three important pairs. So Euro USD, what we see that Euro dollar was in a consolidation. Now this is the daily chart on Euro dollar. This is the channel that we have drawn so far. Now if I look at weekly and daily price action on Euro dollar, now from the 4-hour, Euro dollar, you can see it's in a very interesting shape here on Euro dollar, forming series of lower high. I think it might come down a little along the zone, and then we could see that moving to the upside. Let me see bigger picture weekly. If you look at the weekly price action on euro dollar, you see there is a previous week, there is a doji. That doji, if you look at high, lower high, and lower low, which is long week doji, this week once the market opened, created a lower high, and we saw this this movement again to the downside on euro dollar. Now with that movement, what I think that euro dollar may continue to drop in that direction. Now if you look at the monthly, you can see the same thing on the monthly on euro dollar. Now from 4-hour perspective, this is the daily and 4-hour. I think euro dollar will remain bearish until NFP. This is a support level. We could see break and then continuation to the upside or break to the downside. Okay, euro dollar so far looks bearish to me, like with the gold. Euro dollar looks to me downside. If you look at the monthly, you can see there's a monthly candle has closed with a long wick at the top, so you could see that market again coming down for deeper pullback. So euro dollar from monthly and from weekly and from daily, there is a potential for downside. So you see that the bulls are not getting enough fuel on dollar pairs. Now AUD USD, we look at the daily, you can see from the daily 20 EMA to crossing this level AUD USD. Now slowly the sellers again selling from this resistance line. We look at the 4-hour, we can see how the market is evolving. You see this move on AUD USD couldn't make it much. So I was discussing that market might not be able to break the high. So looking at the weekly, the price tested the upper week of the weekly candle around 50%, and after testing the upper week of the weekly candle, AUD USD, we see that the market again rejecting from the daily as well. We see this is what's happening from 4-hour. What we see that AUD USD is yeah, so we see that movement on AUD. So AUD USD, you see there is a little bit of consolidation here and then had a breakdown. All right, so we could see slowly the market coming down, like all the Europeans, USD, all of them the similar way. AUD USD, highly likely that we could see that downside and as you can see there is a FOMC coming. We might see little bit in a sideway and then there will be spike on FOMC and then the market will start to trend. Now as NFP coming up, guys, make sure that you don't miss out any of the content that I'm releasing during the NFP as well as before the NFP, and there will be definitely there will be a lot of trades during the NFP as well. So if you also want to check out all of them, you can join us. With that said, guys, you know, I'm coming on live again. We see the directional bias on gold is to the downside, so there is already at a retest of the 20 EMA on gold on the 4-hour. As I mentioned, you can see tested the 20 EMA and then I think we could see now a pullback and ultimately drop towards the downside. Now it is crucially important to see how the market is evolving along this 20 MA. I'll keep my eye fully on the chart on gold, guys. So make sure that any question that you have, ask me. I will be answering all the question after this live also on the VIPs, and as well as for those who are on the website. So with that said, I will be coming on live again in the next London session and New York session time. As you know that we do open frequent trades during this live as well. Let me see any trade coming along the way. Definitely I'll be looking at that. So with that said, guys, thank you very much for being here. I'll see you again very soon. Until that, stay well, stay happy. Make sure you always do proper risk management when you open the trade. See you.